What are you hacking up?
My downpipe.
Joel finally got the SR20 in it. Car starts and runs. Now we just got to finish up getting the rear subframe put in it. Finish up the brake lines, and it should be good to go down on all fours, get it driving again. We already had its intercooler piping made, so that's all done.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
Not bad. Harbor Freight welds, weld it up, and then grind it down.
As long as she holds.
Yeah.
I gotta get a fucking radiator cap. A radiator cap. Tighten up the wiring. It's bent. It looks a little bent.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks a little bit bent.
I think it's because I put something on there. Oh no, the radiator got smushed. Look, it's dented in there. See,
Oh well, that's the least you worry right now.
Yes. I got a helicoil fucking bolt on my intake. Wiring needs to get extended. Fucking do the brakes.
Good news is today we're starting it, and the thing had a misfire after you got it started. And we found that it was just a loose plug back there, so that fixed that one. It still kind of has a long crank, but still need to finish hooking up all the vacuum lines.
Yeah, it's all fucking apart. I think what I'm missing is like that, and my rail isn't in all the way.
Oh yeah, the rail's a little bit loose, so.
Rail's loose. I gotta do vacuum lines. I'm not running a mass airflow sensor because I have a map sensor with my Pexi.
Oh, that's another thing. I don't know if that's the same brand map sensor that it was tuned on. I was gonna say. Yeah, when you
it says a Pexi right on it. I think it's right there.
Is it the same bar? If it's like a 2 or 3 bar?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Joel lost his sensor, so we had to buy a new one. But I mean, if the car was tuned to like a 3 bar and he switched to a 4, that would throw it off. The car has a long crank start, but when it does run, it runs pretty good. It's come a long way. I didn't really film any videos on the last few months that he was working on it, but I came here with him. We helped prep and paint the bay. It's kind of getting chipped up now, but it's just a drift car. Yeah. It'll be all right. Probably spent maybe a week total working on the engine bay, and now
it was like over time.
Yeah.
So like over time, I think it was like 2 months with just me freaking standing.
And then after I paint it, they come here and look at it, and he's already drilling freaking holes in it.
Yeah.
Hey, this is still way better than it was before. When he got this car, this whole section of the race sport was cut out, and so we had to weld in a plate there. But because he doesn't have a power steering pump on it, he has this electric power steering pump. So, he made a spot for that. And as far as this hole, that's going to be for the intercooler piping. So that hole is going to be filled up.
I have it at an angle. Like, let me see if I can get
Plop it in there. And honestly, what you could do is after this is all done, you could probably make some sort of trim that goes on that corner of the engine bay to just kind of cover it up.
Yeah. Basically how it's...
Yeah, it's going to go in there just like that.
I only have it clocked like this because it hits the tub.
Yeah.
So I just had them welded the way.
But yeah, I was gonna say majority of the bay looks good though. Like this was all fucked up. This was all dented and shit, and we smoothed that all out.
Crumpled.
Yeah.
Was literally, like,
and right here, this was missing too. I mean,
whoever wanted me to do tubs.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
We deleted the battery tray too. If anyone knows, those things are a bitch to get off. There are probably like 15 spot welds that holds the factory battery tray, and we had to get that out.
So obnoxious. I hate it.
But yeah, I mean, as far as getting it finished up though, besides the suspension work they needs to do, just got to get all this wiring wrapped up, all the vacuum lines.
Yeah. The wiring, the only reason this wasn't like plug and play was because the wiring, the harness that I got off my buddy Jake's car, he had the fuse box, both front fuse boxes in the engine bay relocated behind the dash. So the wiring was shorter. So now, because I opted to keep my fuse boxes in my interior, in my engine bay, I literally have to have the wiring that he had extended back to normal. That way it makes it back to the lower harness, and that fuse box that controls all the.
And this harness is from another S chassis? Yeah. So, I mean, the harness was all, I mean, other than that, besides just extending all this, that was the main thing, because this harness came from another 240, so.
Yeah,
it's all pretty good.
This is a wiring specialties, and then the car is a 90. The car's a 92. So 89 to 90s, I believe, are single cams. And this thing has a single cam harness for whatever reason. 92, 91, 92 and up, whatever. They have like dual cam harnesses. I think they're different. There's like a connector in the passenger floor that's different. But have Matt do all he needs to do.
Oh. And how about this wing? Just drove a couple hours to go get this wing, huh?
All the way to Albany.
I think a lot of people are going to be iffy. I think it's up to the personal taste, honestly, for this wing.
So
it's definitely a drag style. It's got a drag feeling wing.
It's a Uraz drag wing. It's very different. I really wanted it, and
you either love it or you hate it, honestly.
Exactly. There's no in between with it. It's just like the wings are like freaking $600, $700. I got it for $300, and I drove 5 hours one way. So it's like 10-hour round trip. Got it for $300. It was like $60 in fuel, so I guess it worked out. A little Civic, but hopefully get that all squared away, and then I'm gonna keep it stock quarter panels. Get the kit.
Yeah.
I'm just looking.
If any of you guys are from New England and you're into these 240s, you know they all rot out, and this thing's super clean. They all the last 240 I had, this was all patched on it. The rockers were rusted out.
Yeah,
the frame rails are rotted out.
Like behind here is like all.
I don't have a light to shine on it, but these things, they always rot out inside the wheel arches. 90% of these things are rot boxes, and if you see a lot of people, they tube the front ends because the strut towers rot out. All in here in the wheel wells, it's super clean. Yeah, you don't gotta look at that, but that's a little fucked up. Like you were saying that was missing, but you just don't look at the backside because it looks pretty from the top.
Not too bad. Not too bad for what it was. You've seen the fair share of rotted ass chassis.
Yeah.
That coupe that I got off from Cam, dude, that thing was rotted. The more you hit the hammer, like the more you take a hammer and hit it alongside the frame rail, the more rot would just fall off. And it was just terrible.
I know all about that. 240 I bought, that thing was rotted out. So I had to weld some patches in, but even still, the chassis is pretty fucked at that point. You know, it's not worth spending a bunch of time doing rust repair because you can either go down south and find one of these clean and just swap it into it. Yeah, I mean, as far as right now, we just finished up the exhaust. I figured I'd make a little video on it, keep you guys up to date. Haven't posted on my YouTube channel in a while, so. But yeah, she's almost ready. Besides the brake lines and rear subframe, gotta put the drive shaft in, and then she'll be able to sit on all fours.
Hopefully, I gotta buy some wheels because I just want 5 buckets. So.
No. Yeah, that's another thing it needs.
Oh man, I have the whole rear subframe out. I don't know who would paint a subframe red.
Yep. Whoever owned this car before, their bright idea to paint everything red.
Even the diff.
The diff, literally right over the bushings, everything. It honestly looks like shit.
The only thing I was excited about the subframe was they upgraded these axles.
So these are beefed up, which is good. So you're probably not going to be breaking those.
300 GX axles, and then it has a VLXD, which I'm getting rid of because they're super unpredictable while in drift. And
could you just weld it or no?
So I was talking to Matt about it. He told me that I don't think I can. Like, you remember how I used to weld the diff in my Genesis?
Yeah.
I don't think you can fill in the holes for the housing.
Oh, I see.
It's like that. I think it's just because it's a viscous, it sucks. So
yeah,
whatever. But I ordered all the new bushings, new control arms. I got these control arms for a deal. One of the ISR Johnnies.
There you go.
Not too bad. Got that. And then I gotta do brakes. I'm rebuilding those calipers because they won't freaking slide back in.
300GX calipers?
No,
or stock?
I'm running stock because I want the stock handbrake. I'm super butthurt for that. I'm not a fan of hydraulics. Some people are. Some people have their freaking taste, but I just like the pull up.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Nice OMPC, but
this thing was super demotivated on it. Dude, it had it all had was a dash, no carpet.
Yeah, so when he got this car, this thing was pretty much stripped. There was nothing on the interior. We put the carpet in, put the dashboard, seat. He still got a lot of other interior put into it. The kid who actually used to rent out this stall, he sold him a bunch of my interior because I sold him my old car that he ended up parting out and just scrapping it. So
this is like a lot of freaking good stuff. Really.
He was able to source a lot of parts, so
yeah,
that's a good thing. The car I sold was pretty much complete interior. Anything he needed, he could have got it from that one. So
not too bad.
yeah.
I have everything. I should have put together. I've never had a project like this. The last project I had was the coupe, and that thing was a rad piece.